today. From Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida, it's Week 4 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Tyler Lockett now with a return. Oh, a good-looking return setup here. Running room at the 50. Look out. Tyler Lockett. He will score.
Touchdown, Seattle.
And that right there is how you silence the home crowd.
All week long in preparation, visiting teams talk about it. Okay, we've got to start fast. We've got to take the crowd out of it, as you just talked about there. We've got to control the ball early. And in this case, forget fast start. This is a blazing start. What they've talked about all week is their offensive unit doing that. Not necessarily the guys returning the opening kickoff, but believe me, they'll take this.
And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. So how about that for an intriguing start? The opening kickoff of the ball game, return for a touchdown. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he returns this to the 22. Out come the Dolphins to take over, and it's Ryan Fitzpatrick in his 16th NFL season now leading the way.
Ryan Fitzpatrick's the kind of guy you want on your team in every situation. You want him to be your starter, whether you want him to bridge and help a rookie out like Tua Tagovailoa, it doesn't matter. He can fit every spot you're looking for. He's in the second year of a 2-year deal with 5-8 and 13 starts last year with 20 touchdown passes. And anytime he's on the field, there could be some Fitz magic.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. His throw incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. Over the middle, complete. That's 4th. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
On 1st down, here's Rita. Breaks the tackle, now an alley. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Options galore here, 2nd and a few inches.
It's 2nd and inches.
They go play action. Fitzpatrick under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Ryan Fitzpatrick sacked.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did. It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at the 20. He fakes the give here and looks to throw. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And there shouldn't be any surprise at all when we watch him flash his arm. Easy motion, easy action, and that ball flies downfield.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And it's good to make it 14-0. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Taken at the 15, a short kick. Oh, a good return up past the 30.
Noah Igbenogany on the return. The Dolphins take over 1st and 10. At their own
first down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come. Oh, now Rita loses it. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So a first quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost them.
A look at the numbers from last week for Olsen. 5 catches, 61 yards. And he's brought down.
And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open. It's always interesting when you get ready for a Seattle Seahawks game because when you think of their receivers, you think of these guys going to be...
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
The touchdown was scored by the runner, but the offensive line, they feel like it's theirs. They blocked that one up perfectly, allowed him easy access to the end zone.
Now Myers for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Return. The Dolphins take over 1st and 10. At their own.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And all the way down to the 26. It's a big play there for Miami. 42 yards. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. 7 yards, the pickup there. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. For the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Again, it's Fitzpatrick. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Ryan Fitzpatrick sacked.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down.
Seahawks 21, Dolphins nothing. Jason Sanders for the Dolphin field goal. A 41-yard attempt.
Sanders' kick is good, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
Take over first and 10 at their own.
The Seattle Seahawks 3-0 to start 2020. It wasn't easy in week 3. It was entertaining. 38-31. They found a way to get the win over Dak and the Dallas Cowboys. But Russell Wilson, who has famously never gotten so much as an MVP vote, I think he's going to get some if he keeps this up. 5 touchdown passes week 2 against New England. 5 more touchdown passes against the Cowboys. Make it, Charles, 14 now on the year. And actually, Denny Deere, one of our producers, is telling me in my ear that that's more than anyone has ever thrown through 3 games in NFL history.
Yeah, and that MVP discussion was a huge topic in the offseason, wasn't it? How could Russell Wilson never get a vote? Well, the way the voting is, it's kind of an all-or-nothing thing. You know, it's not like one of those graduated scales with so many points for each vote. But the bottom line is it became a crusade, didn't it? Russell Wilson, how could he not win an MVP? But the best part is he's actually earning it. You just mentioned it. 5 touchdown passes against New England. 5 more against the Dallas Cowboys. Back-to-back tough games at home that they found a way to win, largely because of Russell Wilson's efforts. This Seahawks team, you better keep an eye on them. Now they go to Miami. Could that be an upset special? Then they're home for Minnesota before they have the
end zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. From just inside the 20, a short kick. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is...
And he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing. because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards.
First down, Seattle.
How about a guy proving his worth in different ways? Had a big play in the run game to play before. This time, they go right back to him in the passing game.
And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle.
Number 16, Tyler.
Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. From the 6. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. But that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
Fitzpatrick to give to Rita. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20.
Rita on the carry.
It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. The throw on the quick slant going to be complete, and he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down. And that is incomplete. The intended receiver was Jakeem Grant, and it's 2nd down. Well, CD, we are 3 weeks into the NFL season, so curious to get maybe your biggest surprise so far. Would it be the Bears at 3-0?
Yeah, I think that's a great candidate for that big surprise team. I think you're right about that, partner, because, look, Green Bay, are we overly shocked? Seattle, overly shocked? No and no. Buffalo, I thought they'd be the AFC East frontrunners anyway. Pittsburgh, they got Big Ben back, and they've got that great defense. But Chicago, so inconsistent on offense, especially in 2 of the first 3 games of the season. Nick Foles took over in their big win in Atlanta, and he'll probably carry them the rest of the way.
He has 7 remaining unbeatens in the NFL after 3 weeks of the regular season. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 48 yards.
Able to hit on a big play right there in the 2-minute drill. Now they've got a chance to use all the remaining clock and build on their lead right before halftime.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown.
Touchdown.
David Moore with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half as his guys continue to pour it on.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Now Myers for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. From the 6. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Noah Igbenogany on the return. The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Now a short one to Gesicki. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Fitzpatrick. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Well, Charles, a little bit ago, we talked about the 3-0 teams. How about we flip the script to look at the 0-3 teams? There are 6 of them, the Jets, Texans, Broncos, the Giants, the Vikings, and the Falcons. And then 2 others, by the way, Bengals and Eagles, winless at 0-2-1 after their tie. But I'm curious, any of those, do you think that they still have a chance of playing football in January?
Well, the short answer and the easy answer should be no, right? With this kind of a start, they should be pretty well dead and buried. But I'm going to focus in on the Houston Texans because they've done it before. We've seen it, right? One year they started 1-2, won their division. One year they started 0-3, finished 11-5, and won the AFC South. So they have a history of slow starts, but they know how to turn things around. And when Deshaun Watson's playing quarterback, anything can happen.
22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
1st and 10.
So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, time for a trip around the league on this final weekend of September. We'll begin up at Bank of...
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. Rita to get the 3rd quarter started. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Run there by Matt Breida, and he spent the early part of his career in San Francisco, sharing the backfield and sharing the ball. What you really want with him, open space and make sure he's touching it, because he can take it from 0 to the end zone in a very short amount of time.
Play fake. It's Fitzpatrick. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It's a 1st down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
48-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. As we do every week, we like to look ahead to what's coming up Week 4 in the NFL, and no shortage of good matchups again. I'm going to start, Charles, with one that is not really an intriguing matchup because they're 2 good teams, 2 0-3 teams, Denver and the Jets. Vic Fangio and Adam Gase, those coaches, they both need a win in a big way.
You got that right.
Now Fitzpatrick hit. It's out. He lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. The extra point now coming from Myers. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Miami set to take over. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way.
Oh, he was looking for Parker, but it's intercepted. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick, and he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Now Myers for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
43-yard line.
When I see Mike Gesicki make a catch, I'm reminded of his athletic ability and go back to the time we were leading up to the draft and showing his career highlights, including high school volleyball, where it appeared he was almost jumping over the net. I expect him to continue to grow in 2020, start to make progress in 2019. 5 touchdown catches and 570 total yards.
On the handoff, this is Rita. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
On the carry.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there. And he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Third down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker complete. And he will get this to the midfield stripe, but that's not going to be enough. He's a few yards short. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th
down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here's Matt Hawk now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. Busts through the tackle. He's still fighting forward. And now nothing but green ahead of him. The 30, 10,
Can't be denied,
and
boy.
all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Incredible. From goal line to goal line, officially it is a 100-yard punt return. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats. But what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just
now,
said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
Good luck.
he's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and the lead will swell by 1 more.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
Miami set to take over. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Operating from the gun, Fitzpatrick. Parker unable to get that one. That'll bring up 2nd down.
But Charles, on a different topic, a neat story from week 3 and that game between Washington and Cleveland. It was a history-making game in one respect. It was the first time in league history that you had women working on both coaching staffs, Jennifer King of Washington, Callie Brownson of Cleveland, as well as another woman, Sarah Thomas, working on the officiating crew.
Yeah, Ron Rivera, the head coach of the Washington football team, he said all we're doing is just creating opportunities for people who deserve it, and I know his counterpart Kevin Stefanski in Cleveland felt the same way. Quick facts on these people. Callie Brownson, Jennifer King, both got their starts at Dartmouth under Buddy Tevens, the head coach there. Sarah Thomas has already worked. And
looking into the raindrops, and he muffs it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. And he's loose again. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Seattle.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. The extra point now coming from Myers. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a give to Rita. And he loses the football a second time. And the Seahawks have recovered. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
A gain of 18 on the play.
That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. On first down, it's Carson. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter of play.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Chris Carson with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And this offense continues to pour it on. They seemingly just continue to score at will, and as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win, but one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them, because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. On the return, Lynn Bowden. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Miami set to take over. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
The 33-yard line.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Fitzpatrick, he'll get this into the hands of Rita. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick. Now a short one to Gesicki. Not much there, only a yard.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
2nd and 9 from the 44.
To the air again, Fitzpatrick. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 9. It's complete to Grant. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 24-yard line. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the 1st down.
First down, Fitzpatrick. Now a short one to Gesicki. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking to get it to Parker again, and it's 3rd and 4. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. And that will be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because
and there he goes again. Room to run at the 50. Still going inside the 30. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Myers to kick off for Seattle.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This is taken just shy of the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Now we'll see what the big tight end Mike Gesicki and the rest of the offense has in store. So after he looked really good early, they haven't been able to find the big tight end as much. What gives?
Well, sometimes that's not in the game plan defensively. They're trying.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Unable to stop KJ right there as he slips by for the sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now a throw left sideline here is complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 10.
On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick brought in over the middle by Grant. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20.
Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. They find some open field here. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. Kyle Van Noy in on the stop.
A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
On 2nd down now. It's Carson. A yard in the wrong direction. Makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
It's a loss of a yard.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage.
Complete to
It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
And the Seahawks first down.
They'll run on 1st down. Carson. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they will head home next week to take on the